The Court of Appeal has reserved judgment to a date to be announced in the appeal filed by the National Chairman of the Caretaker Committee of the People's Democratic Party, Senator Ahmed Makarfi, and the Secretary, Senator Ben Obi. In the appeal argued by Chief Wole Olanipekun, the appellants are asking the appellate court to set aside the judgment of the Federal High Court, Abuja, delivered on June the 29th, 2016 by Justice Okonabang, affirming Senator Ali Modu Sharif as the authentic national chairman of the party. They told the tribunal that the trial judge erred in law by concluding that Mr. Sharif was the national chairman of the party without giving them hearing before his court. The counsel to both parties reacted to the court's decision.
The appeal is against the judgment of the Federal High Court, and an appellant to the Court of Appeal will want the judgment reversed. That's just it, that the judgment should be reversed. So in all the cases relating to the Ondo State, particularly the Ita Jegede and the McCarthy cases, have been disposed of by the Court of Appeal timeously, and judgments in the two cases reserved by the Court of Appeal. That's all we can tell you.
Position of the law presently is that once an appeal has been entered at the Supreme Court, appeal from Court of Appeal to Supreme Court, or even from High Court to Court of Appeal, once it's entered, that is to say, once you have transmitted the records and they have received it, and you have in addition a motion for stay of further proceedings, the lower court, which this court is to the Supreme Court, must stop further proceedings and allow the Supreme Court to take a decision one way or the other. It is now exclusive duty of the Supreme Court to take a decision. And that's what we argued, that this court no longer has jurisdiction to continue at a time the Supreme Court is now seized of the whole proceedings.
A federal high court in Abuja has heard how $752,000 was paid into a special account belonging to the former Chief of Defense Staff, Air Chief Marshal Alex Bade. According to a release from the EFCC, a prosecution witness, Fatima Daku, told the court that the money she credited into Bade's Visa Gold account was brought by the bank to the bank by his ADC and orderly. Well, the former defense chief is being prosecuted by the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, the EFCC, along with his company, Iyalikem Nigeria Limited. He's standing trial on charges of abusing his office by withdrawing 1.4 billion naira from the accounts of the Nigerian Air Force to purchase properties in choice areas of Abuja between January and December 2013. Trial judge Justice Okonabang has adjourned hearing to November the 22nd, 2016 for continuation of hearing. You're watching the news at 10 on Channels Television, reaching you live from Lagos and celebrating 21 years of professional broadcasting. Let's take you to our Abuja studios now, where Ibrahim Adra is standing by to take us through. Ibrahim.
Hello, Gimba. The federal government has launched a new policy guideline for the prevention of stillbirths and pneumonia among newborn children by the year 2030. The Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, at a news conference to launch the guideline in Abuja, says annually pneumonia and premature births account for about 15 million deaths of children under 5 years. According to him, Nigeria is the third largest contributor to that global statistics. Statistics at the Federal Ministry of Health reveals that an estimated 871,000 premature babies are born annually in Nigeria. It also shows that preterm births and pneumonia contribute significantly to Nigeria's burden of child mortality rate, which is 37 deaths per 1,000 live births in 2013. At this gathering to launch a new policy guideline for the prevention of prematurity and pneumonia in Abuja, the program director of the United States Agency for International Development, USAID, calls for an urgent measure to tackle the problem.
We know that pneumonia continues to be a big contributor to under 5 mortality in Nigeria, and we must redouble our efforts.
On his part, the Minister of Health, while launching the new policy guide, pledges government's commitment to change the narratives by the year 2030.
Federal Ministry of Health is proud to launch 3 policy documents relating to newborn health. Every Nigerian newborn action plan aligns government commitment to end preventable newborn deaths and stillbirth by year 2030.
Meanwhile, the World Health Organization's National Coordinator for Neonatal Program advised government to walk its talk.
We welcome any innovation that will deal with pneumonia in children as well as complications. So it's a great day for us, and we pray that what we say here will be able to implement in the different levels of our health care, and not that it should just end here.
The new policy guide is recommending exclusive breastfeeding, proper hygiene and routine immunization for reduction of child mortality rate in Nigeria. For small and medium-scale enterprises to survive, entrepreneurs need to constantly think out of the box. And this was part of the suggestions raised at the inaugural FATE Annual Alumni Conference in Lagos, organized by the FATE Foundation. Our correspondent Yomi Otaigbe reports.
Participants here have been part of the different training and capacity building for aspiring and emerging small and medium entrepreneurs embarked upon by the FATE Foundation since the year 2000. Officials of the foundation say this inaugural FATE Annual Alumni Conference is to better position the alumni post-graduation in these challenging times for businesses in Nigeria.
Today, we are in an environment where the inflation is at 18%. That means a lot to businesses, let alone SMEs, who are even more vulnerable. So we believe that there cannot be a better time than now to bring SMEs together.
We thought that at a time when the business environment was really struggling and difficult, we could bring together alumni to see the opportunities that existed within the space, to look at their own business models and structures and find out how they can become sustainable businesses.
With the theme, The Road to Sustainable Growth for Nigerian Entrepreneurs, and different sessions touching on digital marketing, business funding, people management and export strategies, there are lots of ideas to tap into.
There's what they call ETSL, that is the ECOWAS Trade Liberalization Scheme, where you can export your product to any ECOWAS country duty-free. And also I made them to understand about AGOA, African Greater Opportunity Act, that you can export about 6,000 something products from Nigeria to United States duty-free. That we can explore this and then make sure that we are able to bring foreign exchange to Nigeria, better our lots.
Most MSMEs, they hire young people. And the young people these days are what you call millennials. They are into social media, they change jobs, they don't believe in staying in one career for a long time. They feel their company has to be making a difference. It just can't just be work. If you're not developing them in one way or another, exposing them to training or learning, they're not going to stay.
Organizers of the first FATE Annual Alumni Conference are looking forward to this initiative having a positive impact on all sectors and industries in Nigeria. Yomi Otaigbe reporting for Channels Television News.
Many thanks, Yomi. Now, the efforts of Governor Ayodele Fayose in the infrastructural development of Ekiti State has received commendation from his colleagues in Abia and Bayelsa State. Governors Okezie Ikpeazu and Siriake Dixon applauded Governor Fayose during their different visits to the state to inspect some of the projects.
Governor Okezie Ikpeazu of Abia State inspecting some projects in Ado Ekiti, the capital of Ekiti State. Accompanied by his host, Governor Ayodele Fayose, Governor Ikpeazu inspected the construction of an overhead bridge in the state capital. Governor Ikpeazu told journalists that the project is indicative of the passion Governor Fayose has for the people.
It's very, very thrilling to see that this kind of work and this kind of work is going on even under recession. I think every leader must seek for passion and love for his people, because that is the only way you can begin to conceptualize massive projects this way.
Also, Governor Serake Dixon of Bayelsa State was in Ado-Ekiti, and his first port of call was the ongoing construction of the new governor's office.
With more resources, with more support, with more understanding and solidarity coming from you, the good people of Ekiti, when you continue to give him support, to him, his family, and the administration that he leads, and to our party, you can be rest assured that more dividends of democracy will come your way.
It shows his concern about Nigerians and the well-being of Nigerians. Not just being governor. People want to be governor, but not for reasons for being governor. But he's here to encourage us. He's here to encourage Ondo people. He's here telling us that we can win in Ondo State. Justice will come our way, and that we believe.
Governor Dixon rounded up his visit to the state with a visit to the Ewi of Ado-Ekiti, Oba Rufus Adeyemo Aladesomi III.
Still ahead on the news at 10, economists optimistic that Nigeria's economy will grow out of recession in 2017. That's on Business News. Join us again.